Okay, this is the Carver Conservation Commission meeting. My name is Dave Hall. I'm the vice chair. Savory, who is the chair, is not here tonight, so we're going to proceed without him. So today is April 2nd, 2025. This meeting is being cablecast by Area 58, Community Access Media, Channel 15, and will be posted by Area 58 on YouTube as soon as possible. We have, I believe, 5 public hearings. We have no discussion and business to go over, so we can start right away with the first of the public hearing, new public hearings. It's on 7 Brockton Avenue. And is there anybody here for that? You are? Okay, if you don't mind signing in, and I'll read the description here, and then we'll proceed. This is a request for determination of applicability. A notice is hereby given in accordance with Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, MGL Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Carver Wetlands Protection Bylaw, that a public hearing will be held at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025, in meeting room number 1 at the Carver Town Hall to hear the request for determination of applicability, RDA, filed by Peter, let me get this, Obshakin, okay, thank you, to determine whether the work depicted on the referenced plans is subject to the Wetlands Protection Act. The RDA is for the installation of a new septic systems. The property is located on 7 Brockton Avenue, map 7, lot 6, Carver, Massachusetts. All interested parties are invited to attend.
All right. Okay, so I'm here.
Your name?
Tom Driscoll.
Okay.
Yeah.
We do have an easels.
Yeah, can you just speak into the mic a little?
Sure.
Thank you.
Dorchester Road.
Is that better?
I don't know which,
Yep.
we have to share, I don't know which one it is.
So,
Oh, thanks,
we
buddy.
have to share it.
We only had 2 copies. Is that this, oh, this one?
There's 5 copies.
Oh, there is,
Here,
me too.
You need a copy, Emil?
Sure.
There you go,
Yes.
sorry, I
realized
thought there
I
were
had
only
that.
2.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so Ann and myself went out there today and took a look at it. We met the
Okay.
landowner,
Nice.
and but maybe you could kind of explain to everybody else what's going on.
Yeah, so he needs to upgrade his septic system, and it's in the backyard now, and he happens to own the property across the street from him. So we thought it would be better to get it away from the water and replace the existing septic tank where it is, add a pump, and then put the leaching across the street on his other lot.
Right.
It's still a conventional system.
So when we went out there, we talked to the owner a little bit, and I think I mean, his system isn't failing right now, apparently, but he's doing this kind of on his own. It's on the verge of failing.
He's having problems.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I think it's admirable that he took the time to take the initiative to
I
get
agree.
this done
A lot of people
on his
don't
own,
do it.
rather than having, the pond he's like right on Cooper Pond.
Yep.
He's right there.
All of those properties are right on the pond.
Yeah.
Right there.
So his septic is within, I don't know how many feet of the pond, whatever the scale is here. It's pretty close.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say probably within
Yeah.
50 feet.
And I think it's great he's moving it away from the pond, and that it will mitigate having anything potentially going into the pond. So I think
Yeah.
I don't know.
That was the plan.
Yeah.
It has to be leaching into it now.
Yeah, it probably is. So,
And as I recall, he actually upgraded a little, so he has 2 bedrooms, but this new system supports 3 bedrooms? or
Yes.
something? So it's actually, he went kind of above and beyond
Yep.
what he needed to.
so he's putting in apparently 1 septic tank. Is that, I guess that 2 septic tanks?
No, there's one holding tank, 1,500-gallon storage tank for the solids, and then it goes into a 1,000-gallon pump tank, and then it gets pumped across the street, and then there's 2 leaching galleys with 1.5-inch stone.
Oh, they're going to be galleys. They're not going to
Yeah,
be like.
concrete galleys,
Oh, concrete galleys.
500 gallons each.
So like a septic tank with a bunch of holes in it, basically.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you can still drive on that. Because
Yes, they're
because of that
H20
stone.
loading,
Yeah.
yep.
Right.
Yep.
Great.
So, I mean, it's, I mean, he's going to have to pump it up, what, 10 feet? No, maybe not that.
Maybe.
8 feet? Yeah.
A little bit of elevation.
Yeah,
but-
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a good thing that they're cleaning up a failing septic system near the pond. I don't see any reason why we can't approve this thing. I don't,
No,
you guys have any, what do you guys think?
I think it's a perfectly reasonable solution to a problem, whether it's happening now or it's gonna happen in the future.
Yeah.
And like you said, if he's being proactive.
Preventative
all the better.
maintenance.
Yeah. So,
Anything, Neil?
Neil, what do you?
No, I think it's an overwhelmingly positive project. It's great that he has that space on the other lot that, that gives
Yeah,
him
he's
the
fortunate
opportunity.
he has that because it would be a lot more complicated.
It would be.
That's right,
Yeah.
yeah. Being so close to the pond and the slope there in the backyard, it's obviously an issue having septics that close. I'm sure that pond is already experiencing issues from that in the summertime and whatnot. So, yeah, I think it's an overwhelmingly positive project. And
This has already been approved by the Board of Health, I assume.
yeah.
Right. Okay, so any other discussion? Anybody out there in the audience that's interested? No? So there's a motion to close this.
I make a motion to close the meeting?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, so a motion to approve these plans as is, I guess?
yeah, issue a negative determination.
Issue a negative determination on, this is RDA, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so issue a negative determination on this.
So moved.
All right.
Second.
Second, so moved and seconded. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? All right, it's unanimous. There you go.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Really good work.
Yeah, good job. Yeah, I'm glad they took an issue to do it like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Yep. you're
Thank
welcome.
you.
All right, so now we're on to, we have plans for the
I don't have plans for Rochester,
Yeah,
but I
they're
think,
coming.
yeah.
The pass these.
I didn't do a very good job forwarding it.
Was he supposed to sign these things? I forget that. What? Yeah.
I've just been doing that myself. I just,
Yeah.
stick the sticker on there and I sign it as
Right.
the approved plan.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so the first, these are, there are 4 lots here in close proximity to each other. So this is lot number 1 on Rochester Road. And I'm going to read the NOI. So notice is hereby given in accordance with Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, MGL Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Carver Wetlands Protection Bylaw, citation 9.2, that a public hearing will be held at 7 PM on Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025, in meeting room number 1 at the Carver Town Hall to hear the notice of intent submitted by Pierre Cole, Pond Realty Trust, to raise the existing dwelling and building a new single-family dwelling with attached garage, septic system, well, water line, driveway, and associated grading within 100 feet of, buffer zone to the bordering vegetated wetland. This project is located at Lot 1, Rochester Road, Carver, Massachusetts. Assessors map 90, lots 4-3 and 5-0. All interested parties are invited to attend. Okay. So you're from Outback, right?
Yes.
I forgot your name, sorry.
Greg Drake from Outback Engineering,
Right.
representing Pierre Cole. So the applicant is proposing to remove the existing house on site, remove and raise the existing house, and that's already in the buffer zones of wetlands on either side, and build a new house in the rear of the property where it's mostly all uplands. There's a new gravel driveway will be proposed to replace the house and its appurtenances that were there and get access to that upland where the new house will be, is proposed to be built. There's disturbed areas within that where the new house and driveways and stuff will be loamed and seeded with a conservation, wildlife conservation mix from New England wetland plants or something very similar to restore that area. There is a small portion of the driveway that is proposed that is going through the 65-foot, because there wasn't quite enough room between the two wetlands. So we might need a variance just to have that, but it's a very small portion. We've put some conservation signs in key locations, so along the drive and other locations near the house, so that you know where the 65-foot no touch is. And we have silt fencing is proposed for erosion control and also act as the limit of work on the project. So, I'll open up to any questions you have.
All right, so Ann and myself went out there today and looked around. Out there, currently, the only stakes we saw out there were for test pits, right? I mean, the houses weren't staked out or anything, is that right?
No,
Right. And that this lot, it looks as though the house and the garage are outside of our jurisdiction, pretty much, right?
yes.
And really, the only thing that would be in the jurisdiction is some grading and then the septic. But if, in my opinion, you could be totally out of our jurisdiction, pretty much even with the septic, if you could just move the house over a few feet and you'd be out of our, our jurisdiction, except for the driveway.
Except for the
Yeah,
driveway.
driveways in.
If you could just move it to what direction is that? Towards Rochester Road a little
There
bit.
would be some grading.
There'd be some grading, but that would be it.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have to worry about, anything with the septic or the house, really. I mean, if you don't mind doing that, it would make your life easier and our lives easier if you could just get it totally out of,
Talking about pulling it down.
down towards Rochester Road a little bit. And
And
then we'd be out of our jurisdiction basically, except for the driveway, right? I mean,
Right.
I don't,
It looks like
Yeah.
he's got about 7 feet to work with if these numbers are correct,
yeah,
to pull it down to the 100-foot.
and that would get us, pretty much, it'd just be a tiny bit maybe of the septic that would be involved in
Well,
there.
I'd rather get the septic out of
Right.
out of there, and I'd rather see part of the house in the 100-foot zone, rather than,
All right,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Yeah, no, that
They
makes
get the
sense. to me.
septic out
and get the
totally.
septic completely out of the 100-foot zone.
You think that's possible?
I can check with the engineer and see what
Right.
we can do.
Right, right. And even if you just sort of reposition the septic a little bit, you might be able to get it in there without even doing
It
anything.
appears
right?
if they adjust things around, it appears, but,
Right, right.
talk with them.
In
Real
Really?
world,
because
yeah, I know.
He's the expert on that, so.
I don't know, what do you?
yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. So I think, the septics are really our concern. We're seeing a, high demand for development, and we all have well water mostly in Carver. So the septics are presenting a risk. Rather keep the septics away from the wetlands more than sometimes the house. But
Right,
I'd rather
no,
not
I
have either
agree.
one.
I either
I'd
one,
rather
right, I
have
agree,
either
I
one
agree.
within the 100
Yeah,
feet.
yeah.
But if I had to choose, it would be the septic. So when we went out there, it looked like you're pretty close to be able to do it, but I'm not an engineer, so.
You're tight
And then
fenced still,
I would like to see the driveway maintained as a sort of impervious cover too, like.
Yeah,
that-
definitely.
That would be, as gravel, like you have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gravel.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
going to keep it gravel, figuring you want.
And then, as you said, I don't know, you guys, you're gonna put signs along the 65-foot buffer, right?
Yes.
Every,
Yeah. Those are the
do I see?
black squares.
The black squares are signs.
Oh, the black squares are signs?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a lot of signs. Okay.
All right, that's reasonable to me. And what do you think, Curtis? You think?
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
fine. The signs are there.
So really, when you go out there, though, if you guys didn't go out there, but that's wooded, but it's relatively small stuff. You're gonna be, it's not huge. It's just thick, relative
just-
new growth in
yeah,
there,
under-
right?
under the
It's-
brush and stuff.
What's that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we can move the house, then what we'd have to do is just continue this
Yep.
hearing, right?
We have to continue it.
Right. So are you amenable to that, or are you?
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
do that.
Okay.
That'd be great. And I
So-
think to your point, you're saying this is not a lot of clearing either, because it's already mostly clear.
Right,
So,
yeah,
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 it's not
yeah. We don't have a lot of, you know.
You're not
Not a
gonna-
huge
you're not
impact
gonna
on
do
the
a lot of
environment.
disturbance.
Yeah, he's gonna do some, it looks like.
Right, but
Yeah.
you're not going in there and
It's not a
let
big-
him-
Level in the place.
Yeah.
All right, so is that sort of what everybody wants to do, is continue this and have him go to the?
Definitely gonna continue this one, I think, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Okay.
I think minor
And just
modifications.
move the house and the septic, move
Right.
the
So-
septic out of the,
I guess the goal would be to get the septic out of the,
yeah, I think that's
That's a big-
that's much.
That's the main
That's more
concern,
reasonable,
yeah.
The
yeah.
house is, yeah,
So there's a minimum
Better, yeah.
setback from the house that setback can be, right? Like it says here, 20 feet, right? Is that?
it's gonna be a tight
Yeah.
fit either
Yeah,
way.
that's correct,
so.
yeah.
it's gonna have to be shoehorned in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but even you could just juggle a house around a little bit, maybe get it in there.
Yeah.
Even if you put it as
see
like,
what the engineers can do.
Right, right,
and
right.
Yeah.
Make
Well,
it
just
work.
tell
so
them
it's-
tell them what our goals are, and let
Yeah.
them do the magic.
Yeah, just gotta make sure it meets Board of Health too. so
Right,
that we
Right,
gotta-
exactly.
Okay, so if you're amenable to it, so what will be a good date to the next meeting, or
The next meeting should be fine.
what do you
yeah.
think?
Yeah, the only thing I would say is we have a lot on the agenda for our next meeting. So if you wouldn't mind going 2 meetings, it would, otherwise we're happy to do that. It's just gonna be a significant amount of things on that agenda. But I think, this would be up front. It would be a continued public hearing. We already have 2 continued public hearings, so this would be like 3rd on the agenda. So it's up to you guys if you would rather,
We
push
still-
it
We
and.
still have 3 more of these to look at, too.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, exactly.
and this is Continued, and then
So-
might be new business, so.
May 7th would be the following meeting after, the next one's the 16th, and then May 7th would be the next one.
So April 16th is the next.
Yes, yes.
Maybe if we're gonna continue, we should probably go through all the lots, just to see, because if we're gonna continue any of the others.
We
then
do them all
can-
at once.
Then we can do them all at once instead.
Well, that's likely.
If-
What's that?
Sure.
It's likely to happen, but each one has to be done separately, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fine. We haven't closed the hearing, so I think if we just go through the hearings, and then we can,
Well, we
you know,
could,
vote
you
to.
could set it for the next meeting, and if they have to change it, we can change it.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's-
we could do that. Just set it for it and then see what happens.
Set it for, and then at the end of
Yeah,
If
the,
we have to continue
Then
it
you
after
just, you
that.
just notify Emil, well, how much notice do you need?
Yeah, I mean, I think by the end of this, we'll probably have an
by the
idea.
end of the meeting, you'll know whether, if they're all continued, and maybe you want them all. or
Okay.
not.
Yeah.
If
All right.
there's only 2, maybe they can fit into
All
it.
right.
Yeah, for sure.
So we
All
can
right, so motion to continue this, so they can redraw the location of the house.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
Aye. All right, so this is continued until
April 16th.
either next meeting or the meeting after.
Okay. Need the same map.
I'm sorry?
They don't need the same map, the
right.
rest of them. right?
I think there's a separate map for each.
There's
Do you have
two,
separate maps, please?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, maps for all of them.
Yeah,
maybe
but
the
the
other one.
plan- the house plans.
Well, this had 2 on it, but it maybe didn't have all of 2.
Nope, you're doing good.
All right, next one that we're going to be looking at here is lot number 2 on Rochester Road. Notice is hereby given in accordance with Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, MGL, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Carver Wetlands Protection Act, citation 9.2, that the public hearing will be held at 7 PM on Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025, in meeting room number 1 at the Carver Town Hall to hear notice of intent submitted by Pierre Cole, Pond Realty Trust, to raise the existing garage and build a new single-family dwelling, septic system, well, water line, and associated grading within the 100-foot buffer zone to a bordering vegetated wetlands. This project is located at Lot 2, Rochester Road, Carver, Massachusetts. Assessors map 90, lots 5-0 and 5-1. All interested parties are invited to attend. All right.
This is like a,
Okay, let me get my bearings on this one. Okay, so this one, I don't know. Yeah, we looked at this one, and because of where it is, I don't know.
This whole house is in the 60-foot.
Yeah, it seems a little, I don't know, it's not ideal what we'd want, I don't think.
No.
So, I don't know what you guys' opinions are, I'll let you guys speak. I mean, we went out and looked at it, really, there's nothing to explain about going out and seeing it, but there's nothing unusual out there, but Ann and I went out there, so. I don't know, what do you guys think? Especially, well, Ann, what do you think?
Should we just have the applicant explain?
Yeah,
you
want to
know,
have him explain that?
part of
Yeah.
the project
Yeah,
before we
sure.
discuss it?
Sure. Basically, we're taking down the existing garage and concrete pad that's out there and proposing a new house and septic system. And because of the tightness of the 65-foot buffer on either side, we are proposing retaining walls to keep everything out, no grading or anything in that 65-foot no-touch area. We're utilizing the existing gravel driveway that is already there. So there's no real additional driveway except right in front. Again, we put signs in specific locations to identify the 65-foot no-touch buffer, and as well as silt fencing. It is a little, admittedly, it is a little tight in there with the retaining walls, but it does fit. So, any comments or questions? I'm certainly happy to.
This just seems so far out of what we'd ever approve.
Well, we don't normally approve stuff if the house is 100% within, in the 100-foot buffer,
Right.
you know.
We
so-
don't approve anything with 50%,
Right,
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 50%.
exactly.
50%.
So I don't know, I think,
And this one, we got the house and the septic is
right, I
completely in
think,
there.
in this one, I don't know if it's a possible build.
It didn't feel like it to me, so, I mean, we're looking at each one separately, but when you look at lot 3 and lot 2, you've got the two houses pretty close to each other.
Right.
And we'll talk about lot 3 next.
Yep.
So in addition to this, already kind of not something we would typically approve, then you're gonna propose another house really close to
Yeah.
it. So, which might be doable, but together, it seems like a lot of potential impact
And again,
on the
we just-
wetlands.
You're right, and again, we just talked about the septic system, and this is totally
Completely in the side.
within 100 foot, so.
Yeah, that's a big
Is-
concern.
Is it against the regulation to have a septic system in there?
It isn't, but we don't like to.
We don't, it's not something we normally approve.
I mean, if you look at, you know, what are wells have to be 150 feet away, right?
Yeah.
And there's direct hydraulic conductance between this and the wetlands. I mean, it's just sand around here, you know what I mean? And I think that it makes sense that we really like to keep these septic systems outside the 100-foot buffer if we can. So that's, I don't know, it's my feeling anyway.
Oh, no, you're
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, I mean,
And like I said, we struggle with houses that are in 50% within.
right,
So
right.
we'd never ever seen approval on one that completely, and this far into it either, so.
Right.
No, me either. I think it might be useful, since, you know, there's a lot of regulations that we're juggling here, if you could just talk about the distinction between the 65-foot, which is our bylaw, and how the Wetland Protection Act creates a 100-foot buffer and what that all means, is kind of what we talked about. For everyone, just so we can have this on record.
Sure, yeah. So the Wetlands Protection Act takes a 100-foot jurisdiction from any wetland. On this site, you know, we have obviously a large wooded swamp to the rear of the wetland, all these properties. We also have a pond on the site, and then we have this small isolated kind of wetland that we looked at when we had the ANRAD application. So all of those are shown here to have a 100-foot buffer, and that's the green line on the plans. So, you know, that's just the standard Wetlands Protection Act jurisdiction. You know, any project, you know, alteration, filling, excavation within that 100 foot is required to have a permit through the Conservation Commission. But, you know, every town kind of regulates their buffer zones differently. In Carver, we have a 65-foot no disturb, which is part of our wetlands protection bylaw. And that's kind of the area that, you know, we're specifically concerned about. You know, and these projects have been, you know, designed with that in mind. So, you know, the 65-foot is the area that the commission is really looking to protect, and, you know, above and beyond what the Wetlands Protection Act is allowing us to permit. And so typically in Carver, when, you know, we have new house lots that are proposed, the commission is, you know, not only looking that the house is proposed outside of the 65-foot, but also that, you know, the house itself and the septic is also, you know, minimally, you know, put into our 100-foot buffer if possible. You know, it doesn't seem like that's, you know, the case with this project because it's not possible with this site. And again, we're looking at all of these as individual projects, but at the same time, you know, this is one large lot that's being developed all at the same time. So we have to look at kind of the cumulative impact of these projects together as well. And yeah, I think, you know, I tend to agree with the commission on this one. This is, you know, obviously of the 4 sites, the most limited site. And the commission, you know, historically just hasn't approved projects where the house is entirely within the 100-foot along with a septic system. So it's not really something that this commission is, you know, has any history of doing. So that's kind of where I think you guys are coming from.
And I think we don't want to start doing it because we're seeing just an explosion in development, and everyone's going to want to do that. And that would have a very negative effect on our aquifer and our wetlands.
Oh.
So it's a high concern.
And it opens up the precedent.
The precedent is what I'm saying. We've never done it before, and now we're seeing many requests that are over the buffer zones, and it makes me less inclined. I mean, we never did it anyway.
Right, it's just,
So,
it's just,
So anybody in the audience have anything to say up there? No? Yeah, go ahead. You want to come sign in?
you gotta come sign in, please.
Yeah, please.
this was the guy that was here before.
You can sit down next to him if you want. You don't have to.
You have
Yeah.
to stand.
You don't have to stand. You don't have to.
Jim Phillips, 22 Rochester Road. I'm right across the street from this. I was wondering if you could clarify, we're talking 4 building lots, so 4 separate projects going on in that?
Correct.
Yes.
Can I actually see the layout of where these projects?
All 4 of them together?
Yeah,
Do you have anything like that?
No, I only have them as individual.
Okay.
All I got is this little.
Do we have?
That's not
Yeah,
even,
no, I understand
they're
that, but
all
I'm
being
wondering,
treated as separate,
like,
separate.
that lot there, that's the wet, that's the,
That was the first one we just did.
He has an older map right here. Excuse.
I was just gonna, this is your ANRAD application
Phillips.
from last time.
Phillips.
So
Mr. Phillips,
this is,
yeah.
you know,
Thank you.
this is 19 Rochester Road here.
right.
And then, you know, you have this large parcel.
True, we
that's
should
here.
have
So this is
the whole
proposing a
map
house
because
here,
it's even more
and a
impressive.
house
Right now we have a
here,
house that's not,
and a house here, as well as a house here. So that's kind of the 4 locations. We have one up here at the far end, then we have one back here, kind of in this pocket.
Yeah, okay, that's that garage,
And this is
okay.
the one that we're
Yeah.
talking about now, where the
Garage.
garage is.
Mhm.
And then the first one that we just talked about, where that is kind of located back here behind the existing house, in kind of the back corner.
Isn't this all wetlands back here?
So this is the wetland, and it kind of wraps around the side of the property.
Okay,
So this is kind of, I think your house is right over here.
right.
So yeah, this wetland is a large wetland. It actually extends, a lot further than what's shown here. But there is, a lot of wetlands which are, behind the property.
Will you be seeing this? Is this all gonna be clear cut?
Nope,
Nope.
so this is completely gonna be left totally natural. The only part, which was talked about in the previous one, is, the back corner where the house is gonna be some clearing tree in that back corner. But all
How
the
will they
trees-
access this?
They proposed in the last one, again, we just talked about that one, that
Okay,
there's a driveway.
okay.
It comes in where that existing house is.
The driveway comes right in.
There's obvious
This is that
lot.
wetland.
Oh,
Here,
okay.
So this part.
So if you're over here, this is all gonna be still stay forested.
Gotcha.
That's
Okay.
It's a pretty large site, so,
No, no, yeah.
the one he's
Just trying to-
concerned with.
Is it?
Visually see
Yeah,
this.
I don't know if
Okay.
he's.
Mr. Phillips,
All right,
are you concerned with lot 1?
I'm sorry?
Are you concerned with the lot that currently has a house? Is that the main, are you?
No, I'm concerned with the lot that's right in front of me, that's just the old abandoned
Yep.
lot.
So this, we can give him a copy of this. This,
Sure.
I think, is an expanded copy of that specific one.
Oh, okay.
Engineers provided.
Oh, all right, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, no, thank you. All right, so, I mean, if this is not a doable thing, and what's our, I mean, they could withdraw it, right? Or we could vote on it, right? Is that
Yeah, I
correct?
mean, I think at this point, they've come to us with this proposal, so
So
they're
we-
proposing it. So I think, this is our opportunity for you guys to review it and vote on it. So, if it's not something that you guys are willing to permit, which it seems reasonable
sounds
in this
that way,
case,
yeah.
I
Yeah,
would
there's just no way.
Yeah.
vote to deny
There's
this.
nothing they can do to satisfy, as far as
There
I'm
isn't.
concerned, to satisfy myself.
There's
I don't want
no
to speak for the
wiggle
rest of the
room.
commission, but I
Right.
think we're all on the same page.
So then, we should just close this one and vote on it then, probably. I would
If that's what you'd like to
Okay.
do.
As long as there's no one
I
else
was
here to talk.
proposing a smaller house, but that wouldn't
There's nothing you can do that's gonna put a septic system and,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? It's just, I think you kind of understand the parameters we want to deal with. And I just don't, this is just, as far as I'm concerned, not a buildable lot.
I agree with you.
I agree. as
I
well.
agree too. I don't know,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
We've never built like this
So-
before. We've never approved this.
All right, any other discussion? Okay, so motion to close the
I make a motion to close the hearing.
hearing?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. All right, so then,
Can
We-
can we ask for just a continuance, just to think about it before we, or you gonna,
Again, you,
I mean,
I don't see how you're gonna,
I,
like I said, there's nothing you're gonna be able to do to satisfy myself.
I don't see any use in it, but I mean,
I mean, it would have to be like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
tiny,
yeah, I mean,
I mean,
You
if
got
they
the
cut
house
the
and
house
the-
in half and it's still not gonna.
No, I don't think it's gonna
It's
satisfy.
not gonna work and then they're putting another house right next to it. With lot 3.
what else can you do with that?
Nothing, there's
nothing,
nothing.
so go ahead and.
All right, we'll go ahead,
It's
okay.
not permittable by the board, but we-
Okay, so the meeting is closed, so, all those,
You go to-
We need,
I'll need a motion
just make
to,
sure, so there's no, we don't have any further discussion.
no further discussion, right,
So
right.
The motion would be to deny.
Is motion,
Permit?
or to just vote on it to see if it's yes or no?
Yeah,
I'll
we-
make a motion to deny the permit for Lot 2 Rochester Road.
Second.
All those in favor of denying it?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. That's it.
Neil, will you write something up to that, as a denial and the reasons why and everything,
Sure.
right?
Yep.
Yep.
Because that's typical.
Well, thank you for that.
I just figured I'd stack them there.
Right, good idea.
That's-
Kind of stumbled through that one a little bit, but it's okay.
Thank you.
Oh, I gotta read the,
Yeah.
Not great.
gotcha.
Or the title on here.
Okay, this is notice of intent for Lot 3, Rochester Road. Notice is hereby given in accordance with Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, MGL, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Carver Wetlands Protection Bylaw citation 9.2, that a public hearing will be held at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025, meeting room number 1 at the Carver Town Hall to hear the notice of intent submitted by Pierre Cole, Pond Realty Trust, to build a new single-family dwelling with attached garage, septic system, well, water line, driveway, and associated grading within 100 feet buffer zone to the bordering vegetated wetlands. This project is located at Lot 3, Rochester Road, Carver, Mass., Assessors Map 90, Lot 5-1. All interested parties are invited to attend. Okay, so again, Ann and I went out here and took a look at this, and but maybe you could explain something, a little bit about this one, if you want.
Yep, this is another, we're proposing another single-family house on this lot. Portion of the house and the septic system are located within the, within the 100-foot buffer. And there is no disturbance in the 65-foot no-touch. Again, we've added silt fencing for erosion control as well as some limited work. Also putting conservation signs on this one. And in this case, we are abandoning this existing driveway in there now. And as that is in the 65, and we're bringing
Right.
everything out of it. So we have, everything's in the, pretty much in the 100 or between the 100 and the 65, so. I'll take any questions on.
So the only issue here is we have the septic that's into the 100 and the house is partly into the 100-foot buffer zone. But my proposal would be, I don't know what you guys think of this, is as we did down Indian Street, we allowed the house to be built, but not, we took the garage off so the house could be fit
So it could be slid over.
all the way into the outside of our jurisdiction, basically.
Right.
And then maybe be able to finagle the whatever their engineers can do to the septic system.
See, I have less problem with the house than I do with the septic system.
Right.
Again, we're in the past the 100-foot with the septic system within.
But in order to move the septic system,
You gotta move to get rid of the garage.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And I think just for historical context, like, we have generally said we've never allowed a house to go more than 50% over the 100-foot.
Right.
Right.
So just, that's a standing precedent
The
that
hou-
we've lived with. And yeah, I agree with Carl, like
Yeah.
the septic, it's also,
The house as it sits now is not over 50% in the 100, in the.
no, it's
60.
close.
It's close, but it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah,
Right.
Like I said, my problem isn't so much with the house, again, the septic system
is much.
and the reserve area are both in the,
Pretty much all of it. Yeah.
yeah.
So do you want to continue this one also and then let them come up with a different plan?
You think you can come up with a solution?
Did
You
you
guys
have
can come up with a solution for?
Yeah, that's what I said, yeah.
Oh, you said,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's my idea, but they can do what
If
they
you got
want.
rid of the
If
garage,
it's
you
in
could
there, I don't
move it
care.
over.
Right.
So you want,
If you took the garage off, just put the house in there and then move the septic over a little bit, it might be good.
it might
I
be,
mean, we can take a look at it,
Yeah.
you know.
We've done that on other projects where you asked them to take the garage off, unfortunately, but
we're just trying to find a way to make it viable for you. As it is, it's not.
It's not, yeah.
so do you want to continue this one too? Is that the feeling of everybody? Is that,
For me.
yeah, how about you guys? Are you
As
able to
is.
do that or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
I'll make
right.
a motion to continue Lot 3 Rochester Road, notice of intent.
Second.
Is there any public comment on this one?
Oh, yeah, sorry, any public comment, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay,
Nothing?
so we heard a motion to continue this and seconded, so all those in favor of continuing this one, lot number 3, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, unanimous, okay. So now we're on to lot 4. Okay, this is lot, it's too bad I don't have a tape recorder.
I know.
My voice is running out here in a second. All right, this is lot number 4, Rochester Road. Notice is hereby given in accordance with Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, MGL, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Carver Wetlands Protection Bylaw Citation 9.2, that a public hearing be held at 7 PM on Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025, meeting room number 1 at the Carver Town Hall to hear notice of intent submitted by Pierre Cole Pond Realty Trust to build a new single-family dwelling with attached garage, septic system, well, water line, driveway, and associated grading within 100 feet of the buffer zone to the bordering vegetated wetland. This project is located at 4 Rochester Road, Carver, Massachusetts, Assessors Map 90, Lot 5-1. All interested parties are invited to attend. All right.
That's another tree.
Okay, again, Ann and I went out there and walked through the property. They've dug some test pits here for you guys that didn't go in the approximate location of the house. The only thing we noticed in the back, was after we discussed it with Emil a little bit, there's a drainage ditch in the back there. It looked like it was kind of a natural thing, but we figured out that it's a human-made structure. So you don't have to consider that, but just so you guys know, we actually walked.
We didn't see it when we did the end round,
Yeah,
but
yeah, we
we saw
didn't
it
see-
today.
yeah. We walked around this property quite a bit. And again, this is being kind of squeezed in here a little bit. I mean, they're limited by their 50-foot setback, I think, from the road here, and the huge wetlands that's sort of behind it. So anyway, maybe you can explain this a little bit. if you want. Not much to explain really, but,
It's a
yeah.
single-family home with
Yeah.
garage and septic system. We've kept it, obviously kept it out of the 65-foot touch, and it's mostly out, you know,
Right.
a lot of it is out of the 100 as well. So, I mean, with some adjustments, we can move the septic system probably out of it completely,
Right.
you know, if we adjust the driveway. This is a paved driveway on this one.
Can you get the septic system out of it entirely?
Yeah, because you can make an adjustment to that to make it so that.
Yeah, they-
even
Yeah,
change
that's the easy
way it
part.
goes, Yeah.
Okay.
It's the house.
The house is gonna be
The hard
the
part,
problem
yeah.
with this one.
Yeah,
And as we stated on the last one, we don't generally allow anything with more than 50% of the house
That's
inside
close.
the 100-foot.
I mean, it's close.
This one's close. I don't know what,
you can't go closer to the road, right?
well, I don't know. I don't know what they can do. You may be
That I
able,
can have the engineers check with that, because
But
it
they
may be
can-
possible, or maybe move it
Possible.
over a little bit.
Yeah, either this way or that way, or
Yeah.
combination of the two or
Get it to
something.
50%, close to it.
And again,
This
I
one
mean,
seems to be-
50% is like the most liberal.
Is-
It's
is it-
very
yeah,
rarely done that we actually let 50%.
that's just kind of the generic number we've come up with.
it's just because we're kind of stuck with it
I
because.
mean,
of
you all
that.
can speak more. I've been on the commission only for a year, but I don't have the same longevity. But I know you did a lot of maneuvering on
Yeah,
Indian Street, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, if you took the garage out of this house, you could kind of push the whole house over near the setback line, over to the left of the drawing here. And you might get it in there. You know, I mean, they may be able to do it. It's a, you know, they may be able to get this one in here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up, I don't know what you feel, you guys feel as we want to
I
continue
think
this one?
I think it could be maneuvered to the point where we would be able to accept it. We could
Yeah.
accept, we can't, I can't accept it the way it is.
No, not the way it is,
I
but,
can't either.
but do you guys want to continue this one too and see what they can do with it?
You think you
We-
can try and?
If you're
maneuver
willing to
a little
make
bit?
the effort, we can take a look.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see,
you
you
guys
know, I can
okay with
see if
that?
they want to remove the garage or not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And make an
yeah.
adjustment from there, and then I know we can move, the septic system can be adjusted and
right,
Right.
be taken out of there without a problem.
Yeah.
all right.
So, that I know, and then the house, we'd have to, you know,
Right.
take a look at that.
Just out of curiosity with this one's the one that's in the kind of upland bog that we had looked at for the ANRAD. Would the entire bog be like filled in, and would it be cleared, or how would you guys manage that? You know, like drainage ditch and everything. I think that's kind of further back, right?
And we propose clearing is in here right now.
Okay.
This would be all
Yeah.
left alone, and I think that drainage is somewhere over here.
Yep.
Yeah.
that they
I think
dug,
you're right. Yeah.
That was dug for. the-
Yep. So this is kind of right up at the front of the road.
Yeah, so we have close to the road.
Yep.
so, you know,
And where's their well, oh, way in the back there? Okay, I see it, yeah,
Yeah, that's why,
yeah, yeah, I got you. All right, any discussion from the audience, any word from anybody? All right. Everybody okay with continuing this one?
Yeah.
You guys good? Okay, so motion to continue this lot 4
Rochester Road.
until the next appropriate meeting. All those,
I'll
a
make the
motion, you need a motion first,
I'll make the motion for that.
Second.
okay? Motion's seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do you guys have a preference for the meeting based on, 3 of them being continued to the next? I think it's up to you guys what you want to do.
he should be ready for the next meeting. Because it needs to be in a week ahead of time, right?
If you guys want to give it a shot, it might be a lengthy meeting, but, whatever, if you want to do it, I mean,
And you said you already had 3 others?
We have 2 other continued hearings that would definitely be before this. Then we have 2 other new public hearings, which would be after this. So, that's depending on those 2 are controversial or well, at least one of them is quite controversial. So that one could take some time. That's one of the continued hearings that's before you guys. So just, it's up to you guys what you want to do.
Motion the 7th, we get some, yeah, that's fine.
May 7th?
It'd
Okay.
probably be better
Okay.
for you.
So we'll continue these all to the May 7th. Okay, that'd be great.
Give you some
Thank you
time
guys
to
for
to
being
fiddle with it.
cooperative. All right.
No problem, thank
Oh,
you.
oh, okay.
Thank you very much.
All right,
you.
thanks so much. Yep,
Thanks for your time. I'll be in touch.
yep.
You need these?
Yeah, I'll take them.
I sent them online, but.
All right, oh, wait.
It's that one. Alrighty,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Thank you.
thanks. So, we really don't have anything else to discuss, except, it's not on here, but the town meeting's coming up, what's that, on Tuesday, next week?
Yeah, it's April 8th on
Yeah.
next Tuesday, yeah.
So, I guess, Emil, you're going to be,
I'm planning on attending, yes.
Yeah.
I need to double check with Glenn to see if I'm, able to speak. I think I am.
you
as-
can speak, they just have to vote on it, that you can speak? So-
I'm not sure. I haven't asked. But
What's that?
I haven't asked Glenn.
Glenn?
Glenn Cannon. He's the town administrator.
Okay,
So I have to just double check with him to see if because I'm not a Carver resident,
Right.
whether or not I'm able to speak to these things. But I'd be happy to do so.
and as far as I know, that Alan, the moderator, knows that you want to do that, so he'll probably bring it.
Okay,
I mean, that's
yeah.
what- That's what
I
Savory
don't think that's ever been an issue in the past.
No.
Yeah, I've just never been to a town meeting, even in my own
Oh,
town.
no, so what they do
so-
is they say, Emil, I say wants to speak, but he's not a town resident. Everybody in the town has to vote whether or not you can go up and talk. That's all.
Okay.
And it's just like
They're pretty nice.
But where he's a department,
Yeah, he's an
He works for
employee.
the-
Yeah, you work, so,
So that-
yeah.
that's a
so-
different
Yeah, it's not
category,
like you're just a,
A random
Yeah.
person. that
yeah, you
wants
might
to
be able to
Because
just
it's like-
walk him
like-
up there and talk about it.
Other
I think
people
you're
like Tom
absolutely
Bottens, they don't live in, he
I
doesn't
think you're
live in
absolutely
Carver.
Right.
Yep.
So, I mean, he,
So,
we've had,
yeah, because these people go up there all the time. Yeah, not everybody.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't think it's.
I
Yeah.
don't think it's an issue at all.
Appreciate you doing that.
Yes.
Sure.
So has everybody read the minutes?
I think they're wonderful.
I do too.
No, I have no edits.
Any corrections? Okay, all those in favor of approving
You made a
minutes?
motion, need a motion.
Oh, motion to approve the minutes from last meeting? All those
Second?
in favor? Aye. No,
I made a
motion.
second.
Oh, second, right.
You made the motion, I second.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I got.
You got all this?
Yeah, I'm sorry, that's my fault. Okay, motion to approve the meetings,
Minutes.
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 All those in favor?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Okay. You abstain, right.
All right.
Sorry about that.
No worries, dude.
Oh.
You did a great
Hey,
job.
the next meeting, it will be, all right, so, all those, motion to adjourn. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I move motion to adjourn.
I second.
Okay, it's been motion second. All those in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you.
Easy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Area 58.